Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity, a show about weirdos. With your hosts, John Fahey, Aaron Peter, and Matt Brousseau.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity. It's a show about weirdos, doggone it. My name is Johnboy. I am your host, John Francis Fahey. Joining me as ever is Mr. Squirt Reynolds. It is Aaron Joseph Peter.
Mr. Squirt Reynolds.
He's doing a mustache.
Yeah, I have a mustache, finger mustache.
No, I could hear it.
Yeah. It's bristly on the mic.
Yeah, I was covering the mic. To your right, my left, handsome Matt Brousseau.
Bonjour.
How are you?
Good.
Frenchman henchman.
Say bueno.
More of a Tom Selleck.
Tom, yep.
We'll come up with one for that.
Yeah.
Listen,
Okay.
we got to talk.
Oh, fuck.
We didn't do anything.
Did Walker tell you have AIDS?
No. No.
Well, he's about to.
Yeah. Do you know about this porn guy, Rico Blaze?
Let me see a picture, because I might.
I have more videos happening here.
Oh, sure.
It's
Well,
the guy's Twitter.
a video is really just a series of still photos, so if you just give me, a 124.
Here's one of him with, you
Come
can
on,
see.
man. Oh, is he homosexual?
No.
Then I don't know.
Does he
who
want to
is.
be?
Here he is here, doing the.
That is a woman.
That's a woman. Yeah, but she's got.
I don't recognize his balls.
She's got some of him in her mouth.
Uh-huh.
He's wearing a hat and he's
Rico
naked.
Blaze?
Might as well leave his socks on.
Rico Blaze.
I know Rico Strong.
So he's.
I know, just Blaze
He's
from
he's under investigation for filming
for a Rico violation.
porn while he was on duty as a police officer.
Oh, God damn it.
That sounds like a violation.
He also goes by King Nut a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
King Nut-a-Lot.
because there's
Wait. Oh, it's King Nut a lot.
Yeah.
Not he goes by King Nut.
A lot.
no King Nut a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he a mattress salesman? I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's ruined a lot of mattresses.
it's a match.
so this story kind of took off. Dodger sent it to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Took off or got off?
I mean, the whole getting out of a ticket, sucking a police officer's dick,
Yeah.
genre, or female police officer sucks young thug's dick or whatever is a whole genre.
Yeah,
But rarely do we ever get to see it be the real thing.
yeah.
Well, yeah, they usually don't film it, but they do. It
So
happens a lot.
I just
with the body cams now.
I gotta read you the This is his Twitter's and he has a tattooed hand kind of over his face in his profile pic. It's
What does it say? Only God can judge me.
no, he's got the 18 X'd out thing. Then creator with a star, goat with a goat emoji.
Oh, this is his Twitter bio.
Gamer with a video game controller emoji.
Boy, he does it all.
Gamer, 18 and up.
Then he says
Later.
face painter.
Oh God!
And then it looks like
Talking about cum.
he's got it looks like he's got like the black cop emoji, and then he's got the horny devil emoji, and it says I create art, and my eggplant is the pen, and then he links you to his many vids, which we should probably really get on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the many vids. That's the
That's for when you can't afford OnlyFans.
yeah.
I really enjoyed.
What do they have on there?
Oh well, a large amount of videos.
Respectable.
Let's
amount
see
of
here.
hits.
We'll get you some good pics of this guy.
I mean, the mental picture. I feel like for me is
You're gonna
enough.
enjoy this. This is from Straight Up Gay Porn.
Is that
a website?
Is that,
Is
a,
it- yeah,
is that
so-
a title?
I wonder if it's like gay porn about straight guys or
Yeah.
something.
Well, yeah, they're gay for pay.
Anyway, this is the officer on duty.
Whoa,
He's making a big old roll
Duty.
back of the eyes. Nut face.
Yeah. He's going nuts.
Okay, and so is he doing gay and straight porn?
No.
It's just from a
bisexual.
blog called Straight Up Gay Porn.
Yeah. So his name is Christian Goggins. He's under investigation for filming OnlyFans porn while on duty at his home. And
On duty at home?
Yeah, it's like data entry or something. You know, like
Okay.
so it's kind of a thing where it's like,
Like
they probably saw like,
daddy entry.
Yeah.
they probably saw like a date on his OnlyFans,
Right.
And we're like, oh, technically he was on the clock. You know.
Yeah, he was. supposed to enter data.
Yeah, she was
Sure.
on the cock.
Yeah.
He was-
But you know, maybe
it was a Star Trek.
maybe things are buffering or something. You know.
so it's not like he wasn't a beat cop. He wasn't like
No, he wasn't. He wasn't like
he wasn't in a cruiser.
roll down the window
No,
and suck my dick. No.
That
no.
would be cool.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking working remotely. You get busted working remotely.
Yeah, that should be
Fucking
embarrassing.
Loser.
Yeah, data entry. He enters the date he did it. What a fucking genius.
I really like the comments here.
I'm a cop. What do you do?
Yeah.
DOS.
There's that.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
Excel. Yeah, no. What do you do? Excel. I didn't ask how. What? Sheets.
Word. Pages.
So this is from Straight Up Gay Porn, of course, the comment section.
yes.
As a foreigner, I hope you guys will understand my doubt. So it's possible to be fat and a policeman?
Oh my God.
Speaking of fat things, he has fat dick, and I think it matches his body.
Why'd you give it that accent?
I don't know.
It was fun. I
It
mean,
is a fun accent.
I like that he thinks that people won't believe him.
Well, typical foreign doubt.
Yeah.
He's
all-
lacking that American confidence.
Yeah.
He raises some good questions.
So somebody answers that guy and they go, unfortunately in the U.S. you're only required to be somewhat physically fit or at the very least not morbidly obese to start training to be a cop.
Especially if you're doing data entry.
Yeah.
Once you're a cop, most departments rarely do any physical exams.
That's true.
Not in countries like Spain, though they expect their cops to be in tip-top shape at all times, which I'm grateful for because there were so many hot cops when I went there 10 years ago.
There are a lot of hot cops in Spain.
Is that true? Well,
Somebody says to that,
Even
it's
the women.
Spain. It'd be weird if they weren't hot. And somebody else says, nah, that's a myth. There's plenty of ugly but still in shape policemen in Spain and Europe overall.
I believe
Yeah,
it.
but I mean, a lot can be. You can up your stock by being in shape.
Yeah.
Sure.
you know?
You can stock up. Too.
Well, I mean, the thing is that this guy has, several news articles, not just on Straight Up Gay Porn, of course.
really good comment section.
Barstool Sports has an article about it.
Great.
But he is, the Twitter is still open. You know what I mean? So I think he's probably like, hey, this has been pretty good for my.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
His
now,
many vids.
How many? Yeah, how many?
Upwards of 10 followers.
I wonder
Yeah,
how many
yeah.
people got psyched about it when they're like, oh, and he's a cop. Holy shit!
It's so scandalous.
Probably less than used to.
I mean, while he's plowing this girl on this twin bed, he's supposed to be
Yeah.
typing right now,
He's
Yeah.
supposed to be logging.
and he's not.
Supposed to be logging parole vilations.
Not laying logs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not violating this parolee.
yeah. Protecting perv. Porno cop.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, porno cop.
We can rebuild him. We can make him harder, longer.
Freeze, creep.
God, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even like cool. Like he didn't even abuse his position or anything. You know.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, that's the eroticism inherent to that genre.
Yeah. Somebody wrote basically a whole fantasy about that. They're like, if he was doing this, I think that was the Barstool Sports article.
Right.
Pretty funny though.
Okay.
Porno cop.
yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his name is King Nut a lot, which is pretty cool.
I don't think that's his Christian name.
No, his name is Christian Goggins.
That's his Christian name.
That's also kind of like a borderline porno name.
Yeah, it'd be better if it-
Gaggins.
Yeah, Christian Gaggins,
would have
yeah.
been the way to go.
Simple change.
Yeah. Officer Gaggins?
Yeah. Please, Officer Gaggins.
Officer Gaggins reporting for duty. Sir, is that a nightstick?
Or you just happy to. Oh.
I hope that's just in pepper spray. Oh, delicious.
I'm a face painter, and my eggplant is the pen. I'm an artist.
My eggplant is my. What's the line from Sneakers?
It's a penis mightier.
Yeah, I don't know. The people are saying he might have been on disability or something too, and there's hours and stuff, whatever. But
Who's saying
He was
that?
on PTO, man.
Yeah.
I was on my cigarette break. My state mandated coffee break.
yeah, man, I mean, shit, dude. If if they paid the Phoenix cops more, maybe he wouldn't be painting all these faces.
Yeah, maybe he wouldn't have to have a side hustle of.
Well, actually, the opposite is true because he was a porn star before. He was a
yeah?
cop.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he started, I think, like 2019, and then he
Well,
only
we throw. I mean, we're all guilty of it, but we throw around the word porn star very cavalierly.
Yeah. Porn guy.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. He is a porn guy.
Yeah.
Officer Gaggins, we salute you.
Thank you for your service, sir.
King Nutalot.
Kiss the ring.
My lord.
Your Grace. This is King Not a Lot. Data entry. Slayer of Poon.
Lord Gaggins. Go ahead.
King Nutalot, the Uncut, Breaker of Hymens, Blaster of Faces.
His eggplant is the pen. Fellas.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna take it back a little bit. All right.
How where?
Take it back to 1901.
Oh, yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh, this is prime.
Great song by the band Phoenix.
It's really not.
Phoenix.
1901?
Yeah, 1901.
When did Midgley start?
Midgley,
He would have been like 1890s, probably.
he was born in the 1890s.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well.
1907, he was in college.
Well.
Oh, man, really tearing it up.
Yeah.
In the dorms.
You know, he was fucking.
Oh God.
They didn't call him. Midgley? No.
His penis was kind of midgely.
Junior.
I want to tell you about this guy that was born in 1901 in Poland.
Shit.
When that was still Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Yeah. They'll figure it out one day.
He comes with his parents to Seattle when he's 4 years old, and he was dirt poor, right? And he would be taking jobs,
Were they go to New York?
no, Seattle. And he'd grow up having to help out, to pay for the he had to work for his family,
Yeah. All those Polacks, it takes like 10 of them to screw in a light bulb,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah. He would have pretty shitty jobs, like catching rats for 10 cents a rat.
Dude, good job.
yeah, honestly, what's the inflation there?
The trick is you don't catch them all.
That's right. You know what you do? You catch a bunch, and then you keep a bunch in a box in your basement.
Yep.
And then
you let them reproduce.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, get ya.
That would be good.
And then you release them.
was he that smart? Was he as smart as us if we caught rats?
I doubt it. Well, no, actually, he was very, very smart.
Oh, okay.
good.
Cool. Nice.
Cool.
But he's he's supporting his family. He's kind of paying his way into the University of Washington.
Ooh.
And then he becomes the student body president.
Oh.
While he's there, he becomes very much against the fraternities and sororities and stuff. And he's like
weird.
Well, and he's not rich, and he very much sees like the class divide. And so he gets he's trying to fight for like a student union.
What's his name?
His name is Marion Zioncheck.
Marion Zioncheck.
Yes, which is because his real name was a Polish name that nobody could say. It was like Zakajej, you know what I mean? Right. So it's
like two Z's and K's all in places.
Yeah.
Well, people could say it, just not people in Washington.
Yes, correct. Or me over here. So it's Zioncheck.
Got it.
And so he's a bit of a rabble rouser and
a rat catcher.
And he gets into some trouble with the people who
the rabble
who don't they don't like the
rousing.
The rousing. And they
typical.
Yeah, right?
And they're like, this fucking guy is gonna bring in his crazy socialist ideas to our very hierarchical structures.
How quaint.
So while he's campaigning for all this,
we only recently got rid of these goddamn Native Americans. And here come these goddamn Polacks with their ideas of equality and eliminating rats.
Long after he's gone, they eventually would make the student union hall. And in large part thanks to his efforts. But in the meantime, while he was there, a bunch of guys, while he was speaking about this formation of the student union, he is called outside. He is abducted by 9 members of the football team wearing masks. And they shave his head and rough him up and throw him in a lake.
Well, considering what football teams do,
that
they
could have been a lot
abduct
worse.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
They had simple football teams back then.
Yeah. Simple football teams and not a lot of mini vids.
Yeah.
And so he was,
Boy, was not expecting it to be that easy of a landing.
Was it a big lake?
I mean, I don't think he was.
Did they shave him a number 0?
Yeah.
Was it a number 1?
He probably looked like a weirdo.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Powder.
Plus, the Polish nose really stands out more.
Oh, come on, man.
What?
He graduates with getting a law degree, and then he passes the bar a year later.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, starts getting involved with Democratic politics right away, and the time is Hoover time. A great time to
be a unionist, or a socialist.
Very socialist.
None of that shit's working, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have the Hoovervilles. Those must be good.
Oh,
and the thing is that like even though he was considered like a radical in his private practice too, he would do pro bono stuff, all the time. It was always for somebody in a union. It was always for somebody that was disenfranchised because he was fucking dirt poor.
Right.
And so he's really helping out the average person.
Okay.
And
is he like a trade union lawyer? Is that his specialty, or is he just a lawyer?
Whatever.
Okay.
And
he wouldn't happen to be blind, would he?
No.
Wouldn't have any superpowers, nothing like that.
No. I'm afraid.
Okay.
I'm afraid not Daredevil.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he gets hit by a truck at some point. I don't know.
Who knows? Who's to say? Maybe some sort of mutagen hits his eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
Comes a ninja.
Yeah, Mercury. Mercury.
I mean, he's trained with rats.
Yeah. He has quick hands, right?
Yeah.
Those are the corner
Ninja
stuff.
Turtles famously trained with a rat.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And then later, he ate them.
What?
Oh, no, they outgrew that.
Oh, God.
Rats eat their young,
You don't eat turtles.
Oh, right.
So there's
Turtles eat pizza.
There's this kind of pretty hard bent left movement going on in the local politics.
This is what now 1927, 8, 9.
We'd be looking at what would we looking at?
I'm guessing 1925.
Okay. Sounds cool. Because the Hoovervilles were after World War I believe. It's all veterans.
That's true.
Yeah, this would be around 1930.
Okay.
But there's before he the way that he gets into bigger electoral politics is he's seen doing this recall effort against the mayor, because the mayor in Seattle had fired the superintendent, and because the superintendent was a champion of keeping the utilities public. And
the mayor fired this person.
Yes, to privatize it.
Right.
Yeah, and as we know, privatization always reaps
and so
money for the company.
Zioncheck and his crew, they lead this recall effort to reinstate the superintendent, and it succeeds.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's utilities go down by 75%.
Jesus Christ.
So Zioncheck is like a fucking hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is part of the thing that then catapults him into this huge wave that is going to come in with I believe the 32 election of would it be FDR, right?
Yeah.
Is that
sounds right.
His first?
Yeah.
Yeah, about right around there.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Close enough.
34
Honestly,
maybe?
close enough.
No, because 36, then 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60. So yeah, it would have to be 32, I believe.
Okay.
But so yeah, he comes in on this huge wave.
And this is when people really appreciated their utilities in general.
Yeah, well, there was, in various places across the U.S., there was this kind of left-wing movement. Wisconsin, Bob La Follette, this huge movement of progressive politics.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Running through much of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm sure out there it was kind of especially strong, And so Zioncheck, he is elected to Congress representing Seattle, and he's huge on the New Deal, fierce champion of the New Deal, and
love it.
He's even to the point of he's like, there's some kind of weak sauce shit in there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like everything else, of course, it's a compromise. It's politics. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of this is coming off the Great Depression. I guess that kind of movement makes sense.
And so he gets this reputation in Washington as reading every single bill that he votes on.
Cover to cover.
So weird. What a weirdo.
Yeah. Well, they probably weren't 4,000 pages
Yeah, that's
each.
true.
Yeah.
You've got 24 hours to vote on it, and
Yeah.
it's 50,000 pages. Go.
But he's considered, you know,
Just Google.
like an extremely hard worker, very much a team player, and you know, just a fucking mensch, you know, and then you know, he kind of he started speaking out more a little bit about like some of the things, like I said, he thinks are sort of weak, and some of the more
FDR's legs.
business-minded. Yeah.
Weak sauce, man. He's got little rat legs.
Yeah.
I would know.
So he's got now a bunch of people that are kind of like, all right, well, this guy, we're gonna kind of, you know, just vibe him out a little bit, sort of freeze him out, you know, and that sort of
You merely adopted the cold. I had my my head was shaved and I was thrown in it.
yeah, well, shave my head and throw me in a lake.
Be the first time.
And some people would, you know, I guess later sort of say this was the first salvo against him that would trigger quite a reaction.
Let's hear it.
So he starts getting this reputation, you know. Oh, and I should say too, before this, this reputation would first show its head in his legal practice in Seattle. He was held in contempt of court a number of times. You know,
By virtue of him reading every bill, or
no. In his private practice,
Okay.
he was held in contempt of court a number of times.
Got it.
While he was defending, you know, these poor people or whatever. And it was probably because he actually, you know, had contempt for the court.
Right.
And-
This whole courtroom's out of order.
Yeah.
And one time he was fined $25 by the court for contempt, and he fought it all the way to the Washington Supreme Court
For $25.
for $25.
Well, I
So
mean,
he's like Luke Cage.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then he was gonna pay it in rats, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
You know how many rats I have to catch?
I mean, the deflationary pressure on rats is
Yeah.
through the roof or floorboards or whatever you want to call
I
it.
mean, during the Great Depression, it probably went like the
Yeah.
price of rats went way up.
Well, the market was flooded with rats. So now he would have had to catch like 15,000 rats
Yeah.
just to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point. But
And they
plus
were-
people were eating them.
Yeah, because they were meat.
Yeah. Well,
But so yeah, he you know, he had
I love that kind of pettiness of like,
oh yeah.
you know, I said Luke Cage because Luke Cage famously in the comics fought into Latveria to fight Dr. Doom over a matter of like $112.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so great. That's so great.
It's a principle of the thing.
You owe me $100, motherfucker.
He's so yeah, he's getting a little bit of reputation once he's kind of iced out, and now he starts you know, raising a little bit of hell like that. And I'm gonna dive into that as soon as we take a little break.
Okay.
Be right back. And we're back.
Hey. Oh,
Hey,
you guys are still here.
hey, see you there. Now,
Oh,
fellas,
hi.
Matt, we just talked about the landslide election of FDR in 1932,
Yes.
and then it only expands
Yeah.
in the 34 midterms.
30. Yeah. Oh, in the
Midterm.
midterms. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's even bigger for our boy Zioncheck.
Huh.
Because he's got, you know, just great reputation. He's still very much a local hero there. And you know, generally at that time too, there would be more respect for your average congressperson. Like it, you know,
It wasn't the
It wasn't-
notoriously corrupt and inefficient
or even just,
institution.
yeah, it
that
just
is-
didn't have stink on the word. It still
Right.
had prestige.
Right.
You know
Well,
what
and
I
they
mean?
probably spent more time back.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
harder to travel and fundraise back then. You
Yeah.
actually had to do your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch rats, etc.
Yeah. Well, the fundraising especially was probably more local.
Yeah.
And also less necessary.
And less blatant bribery, or at least more respectable bribery.
Yeah. The lobbying.
Yeah, like if your local
plumber.
plumber bribing you.
Yeah.
Not like
He's like, I'll fix
not
your
bomb
pipe.
makers.
I'll fix your pipes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your wife's.
Yeah, Officer Goggins, get over here.
So
Fix my wife's pipe problem.
because, like I said, the more graft-friendly members of the House were interested in disenfranchising Zioncheck. They, like I said, they froze him out. It was about isolation, putting him on just shit committees or whatever, and just being like, keep him busy and basically let's not let him get powerful.
And are these people in his own party?
It would be, yeah.
Okay.
But also, if anybody that he considers corrupt, it'd be Republicans too or whatever.
Yeah.
So he would have combative relations with quite a few people. And like I said, it seemed like, he worked so hard to get this far. And I feel like once it kind of turned against him, he spiraled a little bit. So he starts
Shaves his own head,
making some scenes.
throws himself in the lake.
Leave Brittany alone.
One time on the floor of Congress, he was there was a Republican Congressman, William Eckwall, from Oregon, and he wanted to speak on the floor, and Zioncheck interrupted, saying, "Does the gentleman from Oregon wish to make a fool of himself?"
Nice, that's a good one.
And Eckwall said, "If anyone can make a bigger jackass of himself than the gentleman from Washington, I do not know who it is." And that's because on New Year's 36, he had a few drinks. We all like to have a few, imbibe a little.
Why not?
I'm gonna open
On the
right
job?
now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's New Year's Eve. And so he went to an apartment building. He was looking for a friend, and
Hey, here we go.
I heard
Here
that
we
before.
go. Was it a data entry friend?
Yeah, and Eddie Murphy was giving that girl a ride home. Girl.
So he didn't. He couldn't find anybody, and
Friend.
I can't find any friends here. Do you my friend?
and so then he heads over, in the lobby to the switchboard, and just starts hitting up every room.
Nice.
And wishing everybody a happy New Year. Just waking up everybody.
This is your local congressman.
The cops get called. He goes to jail. And
You get one phone call.
There you go. Yeah.
Happy New Year!
Yeah, one phone call to each room.
he spends the night taking scraps of paper and lighting them on fire and throwing them through the bars in the cell and yelling fire.
That's pretty fun.
And he was fined for drunken disorderly conduct. And of course, he refuses to pay because that's how he does things, right?
It's his MO.
Yeah.
And so then he's got some speeding tickets too. He's got a motor, right?
Oh no.
And-
A motor vehicle.
Yeah, and
He's going upwards of 17, 18 miles per.
yeah. So there's this
Got no knock.
I think one time he was caught doing 70 in a 25.
Dude, what did he have? I mean, what did he have? The fastest car in the world?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But it was a thing where
This is back when they would arrest the president for speeding.
yeah. Well, I believe he did drive on the White House lawn.
Oh, doing donuts and shit.
So yeah, there's no gate there. You know what I mean?
No.
It's like in
They
10
just got the lawn.
Yeah.
In 10 years, there's gonna be like launch codes and shit in there. Meanwhile, this jackass can drive all over the lawn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you know how hard it was to put a lawn in there? The whole city was sewage.
Yeah.
It's a swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much grass should grow there.
This is
then,
before they drained it.
right?
Yeah. Well,
Thank God they did that.
no.
So then, he's got some notoriety in the papers, right?
Oh,
And this 21-year-old girl sees it, and she calls his office and is like, basically like, I like your style, right? With the speeding and the drunken disorderly.
Well, kids never change.
And
Donuts.
Yeah.
her name is Ruby Louise Nix.
Ruby Louise.
Yeah, she's a
That's a good name.
stenographer from Texas, and he goes and they're gonna go get married.
Hell
Right?
yeah.
How old is he? 30?
Yeah, he'd be like maybe 5? Yeah.
Appropriate.
36. Yeah, 35,
Quite
21.
appropriate.
Sweet. Yeah,
And-
she could take down all his drunken
And
rants.
he's really fucking cagey when people are asking, like, hey, did you get married? And what happened was he went and he tried to get married in D.C., and at the time they had a 3-day waiting period.
A cooling off period.
yeah.
But you can get a gun right now.
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
You can have a shotgun wedding right now, but if you want a shotgun, you gotta wait.
yeah, you can go drive all over the White House.
Other way
Yeah,
around.
the other way
Sorry.
around. Yeah.
You can have a shotgun, but not a shotgun.
Yeah.
And like he's people are like, did you get married? And he's just rambling or whatever. And and they're going like, okay, did you get married or whatever? And then he's like, I don't know. And
What I really want to talk about are the poor
and
people.
he had to go to Annapolis to get to elope because they wouldn't do like I said, the cooling off period. So they just went out to Maryland.
Which they were already in, basically.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
over there. And so
And Annapolis is where the
There's an academy.
Naval
there.
Academy? Is that
sounds right,
what
sure.
that is?
maybe, I don't know.
There's an academy there.
All right. Yeah, I think it's Police Academy 3.
Yeah,
is
that's,
actually.
yeah.
So he's got like this weird
Helicopter sound.
sort of thing with like a bunch of reporters, and he likes reporters.
He likes reporters.
He does.
Well, he's certainly just talking, it sounds like.
Yeah. And I feel like it's one of those things too where once that happens to somebody, like they get frozen out, then they're like, all right, well, I'm going to take my story to the
Right.
papers.
Yeah, well, it's the only place he's not frozen.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys will listen.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
And then they're going to listen even more maybe if you're up to antics.
Yeah, if you're doing some donuts in the White House lawn.
And so he has
Only Biden does.
Flaming bags of poo,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
he has
Yeah.
this thing, and
Watching FDR undress.
like he's they're like, did you get married? And he goes, I'm befuddled. Right?
Well, maybe he just came.
I'm sorry, I'm befuddled.
And the reporters are like going, and then like she's like just over there, and they start talking to her, and she starts speaking up, and he goes, "Hey, I wear the pants here. Look at me."
Does she have a dress on?
I don't know, but
Hopefully.
she basically she said she told reporters that excitement and hubbub followed him wherever he went, and
Hubbub. Oh, boy.
she was real into that.
You know that, man.
Next thing, he's going to be flummoxed.
whoopsie daisy.
So this is you're gonna enjoy this, Aaron.
Oh, boy.
One reporter said finally was like, how old do you know your new wife? And he goes, I met her about a week ago when she called me up one night. And he goes, she asked me down, so I went down and looked her over. She was okay.
Swell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice
What do you
gal.
think about a lifelong commitment?
Fucking total piece of shit.
Nah, dude, this guy, love at first sight, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was he didn't want to overstate things.
People acted fast, man.
Yeah.
So also when he goes to Annapolis and marries this girl, the clerk is like, it'll cost you $2, and he and he goes
no.
and he goes, can I borrow $2? And the guy goes, yeah. And he goes, you can take this watch as collateral. And the guy's like, no, it's fine. I'll just pay for your wedding.
Watch doesn't work.
All right.
I got 2 rats.
Oh, God.
I have a bunch of rats in my trunk.
These rats worth anything?
Yeah.
Barter.
So now the two of them are speeding all over DC like crazy, right?
Oh, they're in love.
And they're gonna go on a honeymoon.
Yeah.
Right?
Do they have like does their car have like a bunch of rats tied to the back? Like,
Yeah.
Just
What do
married.
they call that?
Congrats!
Yeah.
King rats.
Yeah.
Yeah, when their tails get all tied together. Whatever.
Just
Yeah.
married.
Mhm.
Just married.
Just married.
Aw.
Not fucking.
She's okay. I looked her over.
I gave her a good old once over.
Yeah. Yeah, how do you do?
So they're gonna go to Puerto Rico.
I love that.
Cool.
Okay. And on the way down, he gets 2 speeding tickets.
He was out of love.
And there's,
On a boat? Or like on the.
he's driving down to Florida.
Got it.
No, it was a ferry. He was just.
Hey, well, he got married to a woman, dude.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And so, so they have this thing where like he just keeps getting out of shit by saying he's a congressman.
Yeah.
And one time the like cops like there's like he causes a huge scene when he gets pulled over for speeding, and then the North Carolina police just take him back to Alexandria, and then the cops there just let him go.
Cool.
And then he's on the road again, heading south again, and by the time he gets to Puerto Rico, he's like, all right, dude, let's fucking go fishing and stuff. And he's like, he gets this fisherman to take them fishing.
She loves it.
And
Gets a ticket.
he gets the guy completely fucking hammered, right? On the fishing trip, the fisherman.
Yeah.
And on the way home, then he crashes. The fisherman can't drive, so he crashes the guy's car into an oncoming truck in Puerto Rico, right?
Oh, because they drive on the same side of the road.
And
Are they fishing from the side of the road?
well, no, they've come back now, but they've been hammered on the boat.
Got it.
And the fisherman can't drive, so now Zioncheck is driving the car. It crashes straight. Everybody's fine. And the truck driver's like, he's like, I want fucking payment right now. And the cops show up, and he goes, I'm a congressman, and they let him go, right? And now he's going.
Good deal.
Now he's going back. He's going back to San Juan and
Puerto Rico, Matt.
And he's like,
that is a friend of his.
He runs out of gas, right? And he gets the guy at the gas station to give him free gas.
A congressman.
Yeah. And then meanwhile,
there's a Polak joke in there. He started putting beans in the gas tank.
So then he realizes, oh my God, I got this fucking drunk fisherman in the car still, right?
Well, how many Polacks does it take to fill the gas tank?
He goes,
only one if he's a congressman.
He goes, I'm gonna take this guy home, right? And so he goes.
Wait, which guy? The
fisherman.
Oh,
he's like, I'm gonna take him home.
Yeah. To the water.
Don't tell my wife.
So she's there. Shh. And so so two of them show up, and he knocks on some fucking where he thinks this guy lives or whatever, and he's like, hey, I'm taking him home. Here he is. And the guy comes out, and he's like, I don't know who that guy is. He definitely doesn't fucking live here. And then Marion just drives through his gate. Okay? The guy comes out with a gun and challenges him to a duel.
Nice.
Huh?
Yeah. Now, this is interrupted by a bunch of pissed off Puerto Ricans that are really pissed about Americans in their country.
You don't say.
And this guy is definitely a reason.
Yeah.
Because he's caused like incident after incident.
He's a congressman too.
And so he fucking he dumps the fisherman there, right? And then he gets the hell out of there, right?
Please over me.
And fucking goes back to the hotel room in San Juan, and he's then later, I think, and maybe by the time it becomes morning, they say he's drinking milk out of coconut shells and throwing the shells out the window at people walking by.
Coconut milk or
Coconut shells.
But is he drinking coconut milk out of it?
They said it was milk out of coconut. I don't know.
That'd be really weird to like put cow milk in a coconut shell and be drinking.
I got a 3-step thing here.
It's electrolytes.
Well, Aaron,
put the milk in, you drink it.
If you think that's weird,
wait till you get a load of this.
Yeah.
All right.
So then they're like, all right, this sucks. Let's get out of here. And they go to St. Thomas.
You guys will never be a state.
Oh, no. I should say. Then he goes he's like, listen, he's trying to call out the National Guard, right? Or the Marines to come and because the U.S. has a presence in Puerto Rico, right?
This is before they were annexed as a territory. They're just their own thing right now.
No. There's Marines there,
right? But this is not a U.S. territory.
Well, I would imagine it is if there's U.S. Marines there, but the governor is,
Well, you'd be surprised.
And that's why part of why the protest was going on.
Got it. Okay.
They were like independent Puerto Rico forever kind of thing, and then this guy is like, fuck, I better get out of here. So he goes back to his hotel and he calls up the Marines and talks to some colonel being like, I'm a congressman visiting here. He's like, I need Marines to protect me and, wake up the governor or whatever.
Yeah. Also coconuts.
And the colonel calls to the governor and the housekeeper or whatever. The governor's is like, I'm not waking him up. And so they have this decision to send over 6 Marines to Zioncheck to see if he's safe. And they're like, yeah, he's fucking fine. One of them says he's fine if you can understand him, because he's just fucking completely shit-faced. Okay? And
he's on high.
I mean, he's so fucked up. And
There's rum in these coconuts.
He's doing a lot of Malibu and so and there's just and then word of this is slowly going to make its way to the States too.
Slowly.
By boat.
But in the meantime, he's like, fuck Puerto Rico, whatever.
You guys are the ones who suck.
Cuba, fucking losers.
And he goes to St. Thomas, right? And
U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yes.
And he's there, and he's like, I'm so happy, fucking, to be visiting here. He's already got reporters
St. Thomas
around,
Aquinas.
and he goes on another fishing trip. He catches some big old fish.
Oh.
And he's like, come on, let's go back and celebrate, right? And
his young wife.
And a bunch of reporters.
Great.
Nice.
Yeah.
They need it.
And so he's like, I got this new drink going, right? And it's basically half and half rum and hair tonic.
Hair tonic?
Hair tonic.
Not tonic.
No.
Just hair.
Which is like really high alcohol
When you
content.
say it's not. I mean, just to clarify, it's not half and half, comma rum, comma hair tonic. It's half hair tonic, half rum.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And he's like, he's making them for everybody.
Ooh.
And everybody's like, oh fuck. And
he's clean the cones.
And he's going, it's new.
Oh,
That's always fun. It's
New's great.
Yeah, I like new.
New. Not improved.
No.
But and people are just like, yeah, okay, and they're doing their little sips, and he's fucking slugging them back. And that's like, that's like one of those things where you're like, you're not at antifreeze level yet.
it's right there.
But it's right. It's right along there. It's incredibly high alcohol content. So now he's just fucking really, really on one.
He's more tonic than man.
And when he's there, he goes to some dinner, walks up to somebody else's soup bowl and starts lapping it up like a dog.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this guy knows how to fucking.
I used to catch rats. I lap up a soup bowl.
He's like, this is what we do to these islands.
And he said he had he comes back to New York, right? That's how he gets back into the States. And there's a bunch of reporters waiting as soon as he gets there, right? Mm-hmm. And he checks into some hotel, brings a bunch of reporters home,
Hey, he likes people to hang out with.
And he's like, I invented this new drink.
Oh, yes.
You guys want to play some baseball?
How old are you guys?
And he's like, it's a Zioncheck zipper, right? And he goes, it's like rye and honey and mint and
Plutonium.
And I had no help.
No, it doesn't have anything stupid in it.
Iodine.
Excuse me. It's rye, mint, wild bee honey, crushed ice, and a dash of lemon or lime.
These are all ingredients you can find.
That's pretty nice. That doesn't sound too bad.
No. And so
way better than hair tonic.
A little bit like a Sazerac.
Yeah.
Start serving those up, and then
Plus I pissed it.
Yeah, I was gonna say also piss.
And then he goes to the fountains at Rockefeller Center with his bride, and they start splashing around in those.
Aww.
Reporters are just standing by, writing everything down, having a good old time.
I bet.
Yeah, it's like the opening to Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was shocking at the time.
Yeah. All right.
Well, decorum was so important back then,
Buttoned up.
Yeah.
Very conservative.
Yeah.
And he had
do you at least get some money out of there?
Like the pennies in the
Yeah, you think
he comes back to DC, and he basically finds that his landlady has evicted them or is trying to evict them because he said him and Ruby were too hard on the china and the furniture. So God only knows what was going on in there before they went on their honeymoon.
I mean, what kind of crazy tenement like rent situation do you ever like? Oh yeah, it comes with china.
Yeah, it was furnished. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, they were Congress folk.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be traveling back and forth. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But
he's too soft on China, but he's also too hard on the China.
But so he's like, this is an outrage, getting thrown out of this place, and reporters, calls them around, and then
God, he must have. Oh, there's got to be one reporter who's like made a career out of this guy,
dude. I mean, it's amazing this story is not talked about more often because it's fucking bananas. So him and Ruby throw the landlady out on her ass. She breaks her hip.
No,
Jesus.
Oh my God. Rough on the China. How about this, lady?
Yeah, and they're like, bye-bye.
GJ Jazzy Jeff.
The Jazzy Jeff. Yeah. And then he starts serving up the fucking Zioncheck zippers, man.
No, man, in a good China.
It's fucking party time.
Hey, she's gone. Let's party.
Hey, we're all gonna get laid.
Yeah.
Not you though.
No.
And so he's
Watch over the China.
Now he's back and I think while he was gone, maybe Congress had signed a law which FDR had signed a law passed by Congress to be able to revoke members of Congress's driver's licenses, even if they're from another state, which is aimed only at one member of Congress.
Yes.
And
their last name starts with Z.
Yes. Oh, and in the extreme circumstance.
And when he comes back to D.C., he's outraged about how the New York press reported on the Zioncheck zipper, saying it was only half rye and honey. And he says, why would I make a sissy drink like that?
I put mint in it, almost. Plus lime, more lemon. What the hell?
You didn't even taste the piss.
Dude, you guys couldn't even handle the hair tonic, you fucking ninnies. The real folks down in Puerto Rico, now they could drink.
And they love me down there.
And so, now he's in this thing where he's like, it's just reporters all over the house all the time, and him just fuckface.
Well, they love to party.
She loves it.
And no, she walks out one day.
No shit, you don't say.
And then he tosses back a couple of zippers and goes after her.
Yeah, I bet.
And
zip up.
He goes. I believe the White House is involved. Heads over to the White House, right?
Smart.
Knock.
Demands to see FDR, and
he goes, you got all these tire tracks all over your fucking lawn, right?
Yeah.
Where's the cheese
This
at?
place looks like shit.
Yeah.
he goes, I want to see him about getting Ruby Nix back, and they're like, no, you can't see him right now. He's tied up, whatever. And he unloads his briefcase, which has empty beer bottles and ping pong balls. As if that's going to be like a bribe.
But what about this? Bing, 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 bing.
Oh, sorry. There's supposed to be a rat in here.
I'm sorry. Shit. This is not how the trick goes. Turn around.
Yeah.
Last night I wrote a bill. I thought I might have just played ping pong with a bunch of bottles.
Yeah. And
is this your card?
Is this my card? Whose car is this?
So then he leaves saying, I'll be back.
Well, that's always a good way to leave.
And he goes back to the house, throws back a couple of zippers, grabs one reporter, throws a reporter in the car. And then he starts going to his friend's houses, basically crashing into them, right? The reporter says he breezes through 5 lights, okay? Mounts the curb a few times. Pedestrians are diving out of the way.
I do.
And this is also like, I don't imagine there's as many lights and pedestrians as there would be now.
No.
You really got to try.
There was only 2 lights. He kept going back and forth.
4 pedestrians.
Yeah. And
he doubled back.
But I like the language. He breached the lights. And he mounted the curb.
I say he breezed through the lights.
Breezed through. Oh.
Yeah.
But he did mount the curb.
He did mount the curb.
That's nice.
They say mount the curb.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure.
That's how you ruin the furniture, though.
So the reporter's like, I don't know how we didn't fucking kill anybody. And he's also crashing into friends' houses and then sticking his head in the window and being like, "Where's Ruby?"
Jeff.
He calls on fuck. So I think like the chief of police to have the vice president arrested.
Yeah, smart.
Because he believes he's part of the campaign to keep Ruby hidden.
It's Ruby Ridge, man.
Yeah.
All over again.
Yeah.
Right.
And
she's at your house. Your house.
And so then heads back to the White House. Wants to see FDR again.
Mm-hmm.
And then and they're like, no, man.
Slap his legs around, put him in the fucking chair. I need to talk.
I brought a new bill. Oh, sorry, it's baseballs and paddles. I'll come back.
Oh, shit, it's one of those cans of nuts with snakes that come
gosh. Are you gonna finish that?
Once you pop, you can't stop.
There's supposed to be nuts in here. I'm sorry.
And so now they're saying they're like, all we can do is just arrest this guy. Like, he's a public menace to the public and elected officials.
This guy seems like the guy who was on the late night television ads who wore like the Riddler suit, who was like, a free grants from the government, and you can get paid for doing this and that, and it's all free.
Yeah.
But he's crashing into your house to say it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Aggressively.
Yeah.
And drinking zippers.
Yeah. Throwing back the zippers, dude.
Oh yeah.
And once he said he was back in DC, he was telling the reporters, he's like, my new agenda is to get the Zioncheck zipper recognized as like the drink of Congress.
It's important to have goals.
I mean, I'm drinking enough for all 538 members, so
it's getting recognized.
Technically, it is on average the drink of Congress.
Also, when he breaks his landlady's hip, he goes back into the reporters. He's mixing drink and he goes, "I'm pretty sure she's communist."
Did you guys hear that?
So it's like,
she's painted down red today.
That's why she was pissed about the China.
So now
it's my furniture.
So now the cops they put out a lunacy warrant.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
on account of lunacy.
Yeah, just like, you're crazy. Go, like, let's get him.
Wait, has Gotham never heard of this?
I know. Yeah, no, it is that.
Yeah.
He is that. But
he's the zipper.
He's come undone.
He's come
undone. So
you know what happens when you get
how are we gonna catch the zipper, Batman?
Dicks flopping out everywhere.
Oh.
Now the cops are like, all right, it's fucking go time, right? And they go to his house, and he is arrested shirtless. Fighting off the cops. They beat the shit out of him with billy clubs.
Jesus Christ. That hurts so bad.
And yeah.
Dude, getting hit hurts.
It does.
The only thing they find on him is a cue ball.
And he doesn't even have a pool table.
Not even an 8-ball.
Yeah. It was a last.
I did that.
It was a last ditch bribe to the chief of police.
Pulled it from behind his ear.
What about this?
I wrote up a new bill.
Ah, shit. This is supposed to be an 8-ball. Fuck. Foiled again. If it wasn't for you meddling kids.
They say these are made out of elephant tusks.
Cue ball.
Is that a cue ball in your pocket?
So yeah, they're like, he's crazy, and they take him away and they put him in strap him down in a gurney, and the reporters are there, of course.
It'd be cool if he was still trying to pass bills.
And he's just he's tied down in the bed, getting loaded into a van. And he's going, "I'm being kidnapped." And they're just taking him to a mental hospital, right? And
just.
So
robust mental health battle.
They observe him for a few days and declare him insane.
Nice.
And they said at times he was able to stick his head out a window and talk to reporters while being in the asylum.
How do they not have bars on these things?
It sounds like Renfield. Master.
Yeah.
They're treating me inhuman in here.
And so they transfer him to this other facility. Now Ruby has come back to see him.
Oh.
And they transfer him to this other facility in Well, excuse me. He escapes from the DC one.
He escapes?
He escapes. Yeah, he gets out a window and he escapes. He goes back.
You went from sticking his head out of the window to talk to reporters to escape.
He put his whole body out the window.
Yeah. Well, that was just, and then he was still, but then he actually escaped the DC one. He goes back to his congressional offices
to get the rest of the pool balls.
I learned this from the rats.
Yeah.
You know, if they stick their head through something, they can get their whole body through.
Somebody walks in there, not expecting him to be there, because he's locked up for his brain.
And does he do one of those where like he's in the corner and he does like that hard turn?
Yeah.
He's like, ah!
He goes, get out! No, for real. And then he takes all the furniture and puts it up against the door.
Smart.
18-hour standoff, right? They get him back.
He calls it 18-hour happy hour.
Yeah, he's making some zippers.
Take him to another mental hospital, and they said he scaled a 7.5-foot wall with an agility that surprised the staff.
I mean, you're breaking up furniture.
He's the rat zipper, man. What do you want?
He built
He's
up
part of the rogues gallery.
Yeah. His muscles were made for this sort of thing.
And so then they're basically like, all right, he's had this thing or several times he can't be arrested because of congressional immunity.
I got that.
And so there's things where like Capitol Police are protecting him when the DC police
are trying to arrest
him, and they're actually facing off against each other.
Right.
And the DC police go, all right, how about $25? and then
he goes, can I borrow that?
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. That's what happened.
Yeah, he is a real zipper.
Damn it.
Yeah.
He's a real zipper, this one.
Will you give me $25?
Yeah.
How much was it? 26.
So then,
26.
and then they're like, listen, now it's like a national babysitting effort. So they're like, all right, you get the fuck out of here. You're gonna go, and so they're like, we're gonna take you to Chicago, right? And
they love this,
and we're gonna have a bunch of heavies with you.
Yeah.
To make sure there's
It's like Al Capone time.
Make sure there's no detours.
Yeah.
And so then he goes home to Washington. At home in Washington, people since the honeymoon from hell, Democratic officials have been like, he's a fucking disgrace. Let's try to get him out of the party and stuff. He goes home.
And they throw him in the lake.
And he's like, I'm going to be speaking at the Civic Center.
Nice.
Sells it out. 1,000 people show up to hear him deliver a speech called "Who's Crazy."
Tell me you have a transcript.
No.
I mean, how do you not buy a ticket to that?
And he said,
I'll tell you who's crazy.
Yeah.
And he said, the point is not me.
Damn.
Of course.
I thought it'd be a cool twist.
And so he says he's not.
I'm crazy. I'm giving away all these TVs and radios.
But he has
I'm crazy zippers. Zioncheck.
I must be crazy. But he does come from this crew that did the recall effort and everything. There is a grassroots thing,
a local base
that he doesn't want to let down really. So then he says, I'm not going to run again. And then he goes and he sees his mother who is in terrible health, and she says, please run again.
Oh, well, it runs in the family.
Yeah.
Did he give her a zipper?
Yeah, maybe a zipper would tighten her up.
Maybe she wasn't getting all the news.
You don't say.
And
or interpreting it differently.
And so then he goes, he's like, I'm running, baby, let's go.
Mama told me to run.
Yeah, this is for my mother.
Yeah. And so
if I die, she dies.
I mean,
quick, give me a briefcase full of jacks and bouncy balls and marbles. You give me a suitcase full of spinning tops.
We're gonna do this thing.
And we're gonna do it right. By the books.
Give me some books.
So his brother-in-law and his wife are with him on August 7th, 1936, and they're going to a banquet where he's going to deliver a speech on his re-election
called "Who's Prime Rib?"
And
whose card is this?
Who's on first?
And so he sees Marion scribbling away at something. The brother-in-law, his wife's downstairs waiting in the car, and then Marion just gets up and books it for the window, and he's on the 5th floor. And
she jumps out of the window?
The brother-in-law.
I'm sorry, he jumps out the window.
Yeah. And Ruby's downstairs in the car. He lands right in front of her and
I gotta talk to my wife. Give me a second.
he's dead.
The sister.
His brother-in-law was like, if I was like a second faster, I would have caught him before.
Oh, he did it. He jumped.
Yeah, Marion jumped out the window.
Marion jumped, right, yes.
Killed himself.
Yes.
And right in front of his brother-in-law.
And wife.
And she fucking faints.
Oh.
And
But
The brother.
how on purpose?
I mean, the guy saw him running towards the, like he was sprinting towards the window before this guy could stop him jumping out the window.
Wait. So Zioncheck jumped.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, what was the impetus for the suicide, though? Lunacy?
Well, yeah.
That's what we're getting. That's the question we're getting.
Well, maybe he thought it was
I'm about to get there. I'm just telling you the day.
Okay.
Maybe he thought it was the first floor.
Okay.
So here's the deal.
He's gonna tell us. Matt,
So
tell us.
since he had said he would not run,
He didn't say he wouldn't jump.
it's true. So I love the idea of a guy sprinting to suicide.
She said I had to run.
We're gonna be late.
She didn't say from where.
But his really good friend that he was kind of in the trenches with in those heady days was Warren G. Magnuson. And Magnuson, once Zioncheck had checked out of running, he announced candidacy. So people then thought maybe that was what brought on.
I'll make it easy for you. I'm Zion checking out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. He had success with Windows before. Maybe he thought he'd just land in like the front seat.
So what he had written on the desk that his brother-in-law had seen him writing was, "My only hope in life was to improve the condition of an unfair economic system that held no promise to those that all the wealth of even a decent chance to survive, let alone live." Which the end of confuses me.
Also, I wanted to collect the rest of these billiard balls, but I couldn't.
So yeah, he this all happened in the space of 7 months.
Holy shit.
Where he fucking completely loses his mind. I mean, the honeymoon in itself is like, just fucking mental.
Well, to be fair, if he's driving 70 a lot, he's probably huffing a lot of lead gas fumes.
Yeah.
He's probably pumping his own gas.
Yeah.
Probably drinking something. He's probably trying to make tonic with the...
Well, he's like pumping the ethanol out of the tank into the tonic, into the zippers.
Yeah. He's like,
These
gas.
people are not healthy people.
Gas, good for cars, good for the zipper.
So, Zioncheck is dead. I want to tell you guys a few more things, and I want to have a little bit of a round table here about all of it. And let's
it'd be King Nuttallot's round table.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
If only Officer Gaggins had been on duty.
I would have stopped him with an eggplant.
Sir Gaggins.
Yes.
My liege.
Follow the Highland. We'll be right back, folks. And we're back.
Hey,
Hey, fellas.
new and improved.
So, Magnuson would win a seat, would go on to represent Washington in the Senate as well. And they said I have one of the most consistently progressive records in congressional history.
Yeah, but what did he drink?
Well, they said
some ninny drink.
Yeah.
he said and a lot of people thought it was because of guilt, and
That's a powerful motivator.
It is.
he
That's the Catholics and the Jews.
Magnuson said about Marion, he was the most brilliant of our young Democrats, passionately devoted to the idea of leadership. He felt the corporate structure must be made amenable to community spirit. He was opposed to the application of force by an armed minority. He believed the days of Cain and the exploitation of neighbors must give way to the golden rule.
Plus, he made him one stiff fucking cocktail.
Yeah.
He felt too
at a party.
He felt too profoundly and too intensely a heavy responsibility to his fellow man. Not while driving.
Or their houses.
These are my impressions and recollections of our dead comrade. I give them to you with one only hope, that we shall continue together where he left off.
You can buckle under pressure real easy, man.
Well, I think this was very much a bipolar guy.
Yeah.
Manic depressive was, what was actually, said about him.
And also, the turn of the century, let's not forget, just how drastic and revolutionary the change was.
Sure.
To be born, let's say you're born in 1900, and then to exist through 1935, it's just so many things happen in that stretch of time that are just like, you know, the end of 2001, where just like everything's flying by you.
Oh,
like,
sure, yeah.
You can't keep up with the pace
Age
of
of the
change.
wheel.
Yeah. There was no zipper.
Superhuman conquest of space and time.
Yeah. You can
It's our
drink the hair
legacy.
tonic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was there even hair tonic when he was born?
Was there even hair to tone?
Yeah. Everybody was bald.
That's right.
They said hair tonic was just some dumb shit that made it look wet. It made no sense.
It's basically gel.
Yeah, but no, it wouldn't be as long lasting as gel.
No, not at all. It was
No.
like, it honestly probably was antifreeze.
Yeah.
Like alcohol and propylene glycol
Yeah.
and just like, you know, zhuzh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zhuzh. Zhuzh.
But yeah, I think, you know,
He's Polish.
He might have
knows what that means, you know.
might have had
There's
this thing
14 Z's and a J
where he's like,
and it's K somewhere.
It's
you know,
silent, though.
truly on the side of
Like Zhuzheski.
the proletariat and, you know, playing by the rules in those, you know, first 2 years and then getting kind of punished for it. But then it's just like, you know, whatever chemical imbalance is going on in his head certainly was exacerbated by an insane binge on booze.
That's right.
Yeah. And probably the press, too. I mean,
Maybe
the more,
a young age exposure to rat poison or something, maybe. That's just speculation.
he was.
That's just speculation.
He was the rat.
I'm just asking questions.
And it's bizarre too that you know, he would get this bride that's like, yeah, man, do everything you're doing.
Well, that's probably why he.
Well, that's probably why he liked her.
Yeah, or he might have even played it up even more. Like it might have made him never come down.
It might have been exciting for her as a congressperson, you know.
It's certainly exciting for him.
Yeah.
I mean, his zipper was always down.
She got to travel the part of the world.
Yeah. She later.
And I got just the part 4.
She
The zipper.
She I think you know, got some pension money that
Cool.
from Congress, and
As if she was in a union.
Yeah.
and said she would use it to go to university, which she did not. She did move to LA to try to become an actor, and
It's a universal city.
it did not work.
Well, you know.
You misspoke. I wasn't going to university. I was going to Universal
Universal
City.
City.
But you know, whatever. That's her prerogative. She's
there was
21 when she married this.
They
crazy
said that
man.
like whatever venue they had, you know, the service for Zioncheck, 2,000 people came, and there was 1,000 more outside. Still incredibly popular in Seattle.
They had it at a one-room schoolhouse. So
Doesn't sound like that at all.
no, probably some auditorium.
In Seattle, I imagine.
Yeah. Boeing and the University of Washington both closed down for half a day. In
Back then?
Yeah, in memorial.
Well, they weren't making much, you know.
Boeing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They're still out there.
Yeah.
So is Kirkland.
I
The
thought
Costco,
they-
the Costco brand?
I thought
Yeah.
Boeing was Canada too. No, like Toronto area.
I don't think so.
No?
I think Boeing is German.
Oh.
But it's an American corporation. But Boeing LA
uh-huh.
and Seattle.
I'm thinking of what was that one? The defunct Skyjet. What's that?
Are you think what Airbus?
Was it Airbus?
But I
Airbus
think
is still
they're
a
Europe.
thing.
I think Airbus is Europe. Boeing's as
There's another one I'm not thinking of, but it's another Airbus type scenario.
Yeah, I'll put it on the list.
Lufthansa,
Yeah.
No. It was
Aer Lingus.
Aer Lingus.
There's only a couple of jumbo jet manufacturers, but Boeing.
No, it wasn't one of those. It was one of those like rich, fast, sleek ones. What was that?
Lear,
Oh, Virgin.
Rolls Royce.
No, doesn't matter.
No, we're gonna get to the bottom of this, man.
But
Is it about zippers? What's
there's
Lockheed.
No, Lockheed does no.
That's definitely L.A. Skunk Works out here in the
the
high
yeah.
desert area.
They stopped making them. Whatever I'm thinking of.
The one that went.
Concorde.
Yeah,
Thank you.
there it is.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that was the only,
I don't know what
that
else.
passenger supersonic jet.
Yes.
We've named them all.
Yeah, Concorde. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're coming back. Well, they're not coming back, but we are getting a just as an aside, we are getting another passenger supersonic jet coming very soon.
We.
Well, not you guys, but
Yeah. One's going to be over here huffing leaded gasoline.
We call it the zipper.
Yeah. So Boeing and who else? They took the
University of Washington.
They took the day off.
Yeah, it was like half a day. I mean,
yeah. So,
something.
Come back after lunch.
But yeah, it was.
We're not commies.
Yeah.
It was, a lot of people were like, he's made a fool of himself and all that, but a lot of people still remembered, all of, the hard work he did and what, while eccentric, he really was a champion of, the downtrodden. But, then when he goes on, his crazy, manic episode,
flashing his congressman's card, he's less.
Yeah, no, he's not a
common man so much anymore.
No.
But all of that happened. If that all happens in 7 months, then that's a blip on the radar of how people see him.
Of course.
So it's like
flash in the pan, up and down.
Yeah, the comet, flies by, explodes or whatever, and you're like, well, I remember the non-explosion parts. It
was all great until it crashed into us.
Yeah. So I mean, for the people who saw this happen as it did, that is not the majority of their recollection, though it might be the strongest part. Mm-hmm. They're going to remember all the time before.
Oh yeah, and the newspaper guys are just looking to make a buck.
Yeah,
so they're going to exploit the shit out of this guy that's completely lost his mind. He
made it easy for him
with gleeful abandon.
Also, he invited them.
Yeah,
he abducted them at some certain point.
You guys are going to drink this right now.
But why do we think this is such a hard dig? We were talking about that during the break.
Why it's not so well known? Well, because knowing that it happened so quickly.
Yeah, 7 months is almost nothing.
Yeah, I mean, like legislation isn't made in 7 months, and this guy tanked his entire life.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has been in Congress longer.
But
Lauren
also
Boebert has been in Congress longer.
An institution like Congress, it does they have no will or care to promote this story, nor the people that were his constituents. They're not like, hey, remember this crazy time? They want to move on.
I think people just felt sorry for him because while I'm reading this,
it's not like a positive.
Yeah,
there's some positive aspect.
And if the drink was any good, people would still be making it.
Yeah.
But there's a thing about me where I was reading it through the prism of modern politics. I realized, and I was going, God,
modern politics is fucked.
I was going, God damn. It has to be a fucking New Deal guy. God damn it, that loses his mind.
Right.
And then I was going, people weren't reaching for that excuse back then. They were just going like, oh, there's a poor man that lost his mind.
Yeah.
They weren't saying everybody that's into the New Deal is crazy.
Right.
That was something that only happens now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The lumping.
Yeah, the lumping.
I mean, it probably did happen back then. I don't know. Like, I don't know if...
Not nearly to the same extent.
No, but also a bit more of a spectrum on the. There was more of a political spectrum back then.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah.
It's less black and less black and white.
Yeah.
It was mostly white.
Thank God.
But this, I mean, he would have been considered, a radical. And I think
a radical.
He's
a radical. Got it. Not irradical.
No.
Like erratic.
No.
But erratical is kind of a new cool word. I just made up.
Anyway,
You thought John said it? The word you just made up?
Yeah, I thought John said the word I made up in my head.
Erratically.
Erratic, yeah.
It was erratical, man.
It was the most radical drive with Marion.
It was nearly spinal, man.
Yeah.
But I think he, was... It was also an easier time to be a radical leftist.
Without a doubt.
For sure.
Yeah.
The rebel needed rousing.
Well, like you said, the spectrum was really big. The landslide was so big. There would be a lot more Bernies in that election than any other time following Hoover.
Socialist Party, it was not as demonized. It wouldn't become demonized for another 20 years.
I'm willing to bet a Roosevelt ticket was pretty good for the down ballot people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you can see the flip side of him being like, I'm a fucking, a radical, and I guess I always have been, and I hope I always will be, which is a quote he said when he was in his legal practice. And then when he's completely stone cold out of his mind, talking about the woman whose hip he just broke and saying, I think she's a communist.
I mean, I'm radical.
It's pretty radical.
And it's
maybe that's irradical.
But yeah, I think it's a thing too where it's also just like, is it a crazy, fish out of water thing where like, now you're in DC, now you're a congressman, there is some prestige, this girl is calling you up like you're a rock star because you're being crazy and then
you're just not ready for that.
You're not ready.
You're not ready for that kind of, spotlight.
Because his rise was fast.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, the guy that made the fucking Coney 2012 shit, that guy 2 months later is out on the streets naked in San Diego with like lightsabers and shit.
I mean,
you're just not, the mind is not primed to absorb that kind of attention.
Yeah, yeah.
And certainly less so back then.
The mind is not primed.
The cream rising.
Crazy.
But the zipper fall.
I don't want no honey and rye. I don't want no sissy drink, all right? Okay?
Here's what I want.
I want a
Two little half and halves and a Slim Jim.
What I want is some whole vitamin D milk and a coconut, all right?
Okay.
I want a hair tonic half and half. Okay.
it's so scary when he's like, when he's quiet, you're like,
When he's giving you the best advice ever.
yeah.
The macho man doesn't care what creed or color you are. He just wants you to be happy. You're like, what the fuck? Fuck, he's about to drop some shit.
Do I have to do something? Do I have to do something?
Peace, love, and soul.
Fuck, you're saying peace, love, soul. Fuck.
Yeah.
You want to get a jacket with some tassels on it.
You want to tie some rubber bands around your biceps and your force.
That's Ultimate Warrior.
I know.
You know where I got this hat?
Dude, Ultimate Warrior on Arsenio.
Woo! Yeah, it's good.
I know that we're going off base here, but I just want to end with something that I just saw. I recently saw.
Hey, were we ending?
No. I had at least one.
Going off the rails. I guess I should rather
End
say.
the tangent.
A bit of a diversion.
Okay.
It was from it was the Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
And it was when Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman were both in the WWE, and Dennis Rodman was aligned with Hulk Hogan, and Karl Malone was aligned with Diamond Dallas Page.
Nice.
And they both met on the Tonight Show stage.
Nice.
And that's when Diamond Dallas Page was throwing up the diamond, and Dennis Rodman goes like, "You know what that means?" And then he turns it down to a vaginal thing.
I get it.
And then they start going at it on stage. And Jay's like, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Take a second here and talking to like gentlemen. It was really funny.
Yeah.
Because they're both 7 foot tall maniacs.
Oh my God. That's a good time.
Anyways.
That's a Tonight Show for you. With Jay Leno.
Let's see what Kevin thinks.
Yeah. That's just pretty good, yeah. So my thought on it is, in whose interest is it to promote this story? Like, it's not in the interest of
our show.
Yeah, that's it. Like, the reason that this is forgotten is because, it's in no one's, the progressive movement, the people of Seattle, Congress in general, Puerto Rico.
But it is interesting.
It is, but it's in no one's interest. There's no group that would.
Yeah,
like
but I mean,
they're not going to teach it in school.
No, but everybody's fucking dead. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a thing where it's like, I had to go to a lot of different sources to put together the whole picture.
I bet.
And
it is, again, a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But what a ride.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
And
I'm sure there are plenty one half-term congressman over the years in just this country, which is not a very long-lived country. I'm sure there are plenty of. I mean, we should probably do some research and see what other kind of crazy maniacs have gotten elected for a short period of time and then went off the rails.
Yeah,
because they could.
Yeah, there's a little bit.
Remember when that blonde lady went on 60 Minutes and said that all Democrats are pedophiles? That just happened.
Yeah,
that's fucking nuts, man. That's a story that will be told.
Stay tuned 35 years from now.
But I wonder if
we're just rolling your eyes.
There's also some of the landslide hubris, which is I mean, there was that thing where, FDR was sending in the army to on the side of unions and stuff, and I mean, it felt like there was major change happening on the progressive side, and maybe that also was part of what was going to his head, is like, really being on the winning team.
Yeah.
And that lasted fucking for a while.
Sure.
FDR was in power for a fucking long time. He didn't get to see it all, but
I'm part of the reelected because of the war and everything, but I mean, it also this guy going to Congress and then not being able to do anything. But maybe they saw that he was kind of crazy, and they're like, "You don't get."
But
you don't
especially
get any sort of
after
power.
playing ball,
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I mean, it is a fucking boys' club, Congress.
Like he was considered an adjective used about him in his first 2-year term was obedient, which is anything, like he was just like, all right, well, are we gonna fucking do some shit here or what? And
maybe he was too progressive.
He definitely was too.
So
progressive.
that is also a thing you see.
Yeah, and it's also a thing you see too when you have.
I'm not saying I don't agree with his policies. I'm just saying for Congress, the people in
party
Congress.
line.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and also there's a thing there too where, like, you were saying, like, it's people from his own party that are trying to line their own pockets, and that's also easier to do when you have a big majority.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, even a place like my mom always told me, like a place like Massachusetts, Democrats always get elected. So eventually people who are Republicans start just running as Democrats, or people who are corrupt go, well, I can be a Democrat and I'll get elected.
Just switched parties today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so there's always those people. And that's
why when there's an upset in a Democratic bastion, it's usually because with a Republican winning, it's usually because Democrats are like, they're too assured of wins. It's now corrupt.
And so,
especially if it's in a city.
They let anybody run, basically.
Yeah.
Because they stop caring about it.
Yeah, it's a circular conversation. It's not, debate at all. So that's why those things happen, is because the voters know.
Yeah. Well, not Chicago, but the Illinois legislature.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
No, the Illinois legislature is incredibly corrupt. It's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing can be said about fucking, Republican districts too.
No, without question. I mean, the Massachusetts legislature is not great either, but
yeah, but I do get it. But yeah, I don't know. This guy is like, yeah, I think I think he just felt like he was playing by the rules, and then and doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But then he lost his marbles amongst the suitcase of beer bottles and ping pong balls.
Yeah, and maybe being away from fucking families. I don't know, man.
That's a thing. That's a real thing.
Man.
That's a real thing. Mate.
I swear I had some marbles in this.
He had mothballs in it.
FDR,
mothballs.
do you have marbles? Yeah, I mean,
they're empty beer bottles.
Well,
you think he's gonna leave them full?
Yeah.
Oh, he drank them on the way there.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I guess
the beer bottles had my marbles in it. Fuck.
Can you imagine, like, the chief of staff at the White House and being like, Mr. President,
Mr. Zioncheck.
this guy is like a real big supporter of the New Deal, but it's like becoming real embarrassing.
There's a deal with this guy.
And they're like,
Yeah. What's the deal?
and so I think he had like 3 maniac visits to the White House.
Well, he had the donut one, which is a tough start.
Yeah, I don't know if it was donuts, but he did drive on the lawn.
That's kind of his thing, though.
He's using something called an automobile to draw penises on the White House lawn, sir.
Not
Any
sure
comment?
if he's a genius or crazy. Could be both.
Yeah.
Yes, he has full use of his legs.
And he's not bragging, but
Yes, sir.
he did.
I wonder what Teddy would have thought of him. I bet Teddy would have loved him.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah.
Well, he was alive back then.
Yeah, he was alive back then.
He loves hunting rats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They could have really bonded.
I'm more of a big game guy myself, but
Then
If
Teddy,
you get enough rats, it's big.
Teddy had that crazy daughter too, man. We should do her sometime.
Yeah.
is that the one they lobotomized?
No,
was that?
no,
I was like,
That was
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Yeah.
She wasn't crazy, but
No, but they did lobotomize.
They
that
certainly
poor
did.
woman.
Really.
They straightened her out.
Camelot. What?
No. King Nut-a-Lot.
Oh, King Nut-a-Lot. King Nut.
You gotta bring it back to King Nut-a-Lot, officer of the Phoenix PD data entry team.
Did you do that first story? Because there's some sort of connection
to Camelot.
To this story, like abuse of power.
It's about the local legislators fucking their citizens.
Yeah.
And it not being documented enough.
Yeah.
There are not many vids of Marion Zioncheck.
There's not.
There are only fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he painted with a brush that was actually just a bunch of bottles
an
and
eggplant.
Just egg.
Yeah.
It was literally an eggplant.
It was literally just an eggplant.
He threw it at somebody.
It's new.
Improved?
Yeah, I don't know. It's remained a mystery to me. I find it kind of beautiful that it is, his buddy just like really took it on the guilt, and then he served fucking forever in Congress. I
like to think if one of you guys jumped out of a window, I would continue. We'd continue the show and make it better or something.
Would you like jack off in my place too or something?
I've jacked off in your place before.
Okay, cool. All right. Well,
how?
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
it's a joke.
I know, but you actually.
What do you mean how?
With my hand.
Wow.
What do you
John.
You do have jokes about jerking off at other people's places, so.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, they're not
that's
jokes.
an old joke.
House sitting.
Wow, yeah.
I know your material, bro.
You do better than I do.
It's
It's because it's pretty good stuff.
How did you hear about this one?
Oh, thank you, man.
Dodger sent it to you.
No, Dodger sent me Officer Gaggins.
Officer Gag.
Yeah.
Gag a lot.
Officer Gaggins.
Right to remain.
Permission to come inside.
Oh God.
What?
Stop that.
Which
I'm not
part?
the one doing it.
Yeah.
This was brought to us by one of our dutiful listeners.
And who suggested this fine story, John?
This was brought to me on it's a new social media thing called Instagram.
Huh.
Yeah.
By the fine folks of MySpace?
Is it like
or-
is it really fast? Or
No
something?
nipples, which bums me out.
Ooh.
Max Rockatansky.
Wow, it's a hell of a
Max
name.
Rockatansky.
Yeah.
Polish
Wait,
guy.
Isn't that like Mad Max's name?
I don't know.
From the motion picture Mad Max? And
They call him Rockatansky?
I think that's...
Well, that's his name on Instagram, and he just said,
yeah, dude, Tom Hardy.
he said, Marion needs a profile, and I said, I agree with you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Max. That's a good one.
I do think that is Mad Max's name in the movies.
Oh, but it's pronounced differently.
Heracles, yeah.
Is he Polish too?
Yeah, it sounds like it. He's mad.
Yeah. And he rocks a tan.
Man, I wonder how he heard of it.
I don't know.
Because I've never heard of this guy. I'm somewhat familiar with politics.
The thing is like,
Northwest.
When you're getting like somebody like this, it's like there'll be a lot of lame articles where it's like, this guy did this, and then he went to the White House and he did this, and you're like,
top 5 silliest congressperson.
And you're like, hold on, like
5
start from the beginning.
Yeah, and they never tell you like where
It's
it
going,
came from.
Did you ever hear of the guy that you? And then you just have like a couple of shocking
Paragraph from a BuzzFeed list.
Yeah. And that's just so much you can find. So it's like you're like So then what I do is go to podcasts, and then I go to YouTube, and then it's just like, okay, don't just search the name plus biography, and
Well, don't give away the fucking secret sauce, dude. Other people will start a podcast.
No, there's more I do too. I'm not gonna.
Don't
say
tell
all.
them. Don't tell them. Because this is all we got.
Yeah.
So.
And we don't even have a fucking
network anymore.
We don't even have a record label anymore.
Yeah, fucking our label went under. We got Star burnt.
No, I swear they'll tell us one day.
The brightest stars burn out the fastest.
They'll tell us one day.
Well, fellas,
it was a great story. It came out of nowhere. I had no idea. Never heard about it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mad Max. Load. And I was really fascinated, entertained, touched.
Mm-hmm. It's great to know that crazy Congress people are not just a modern day
Christ
invention. It's nice to know that they're all crazy.
Yeah.
Or at least the crazy.
They've almost always been.
Yeah, it's good to know that they've always been.
And so one thing about this that was fascinating to me was the congressional immunity thing. It was because it was like they were fearful of
state to state retribution,
politically motivated.
Yeah, sure.
So the only things would be like where it wouldn't apply would be like treason.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's super funny how just being able to say, even in Puerto Rico, which is occupied territory, just I'm a congressman, and then people just let you go, and it just happens again and again and again, and it's so funny, and it's weird that like it gets to the point of the Capitol Police squaring off against the DC police, and
they're doing the Spider-Man point.
It's totally
who gets to arrest. Who's got 26
We have to beat someone up.
Yeah, and so when it gets to that point, and Zioncheck isn't aware of it, then you're like, oh well, no. I mean, you can't say you're for the downtrodden, bro.
Yeah,
you got a whole.
You're now playing that card so hard you become, the dark. You become the darkness.
Yeah, you have a federal police force.
He's trodden.
You're pitting them against each other. You are the man.
Yeah. You live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
That's right.
And that's why he sprinted to the window
like a rat trapped in a cage, fellas.
Wow.
Yeah. And I wonder if that was part of it too, is that he was back in Seattle and people were kind of like, ew, so you kind of fucking went a little nutty, huh? And also, by the way, they did not even tell his sick mother about the suicide. Kept that from her too.
Good. So then she was like, he'll write one day.
Like, he's in Washington.
Yeah.
With the Angels.
He's doing great. He's really zipping it up.
He's writing the legislation in the sky. It's a good one.
Yeah, John, that's incredible. I had no fucking idea about this.
Yeah, and how hard he goes on the drink. The cocktail is very
I
hard.
love that. I mean, we're going to have to start drinking zippers.
Yeah. Tonic it up, baby.
Mine, not the hair tonic.
Oh,
I'm just talking about rye, ice, mint,
lemon,
raw honey,
and
wild honey.
Wild bee honey, yeah.
Wild bee honey. No, not tame bee honey.
When the
lemon or lime.
When the escort left him and it was the rest of the train ride out to Seattle, they said he was just going up and down the train giving out the recipe.
Hey, you guys gotta check this out.
The man,
he's the fucking My Pillow guy.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are this is the next big
This
thing.
is the new shit.
This was actually my plan, was to go on just coast to coast on the railroad, giving out this recipe. This was my whole plan.
I met you guys
I'm like
tonight,
Johnny
right?
Appleseed of booze. I met you guys tonight, right? Yeah. I like you guys. John,
no homo, but I like you guys. All right, fellas, I love you. I'm gonna say goodnight. My name is John Fahey.
I'm Aaron Pita.
Remember so.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night.